Good morning, folks. Hi, how are you folks doing? Good morning. Now, I said it a couple of days ago. I'm going to be doing a video showing the different ways we can actually retrieve drinking water from different sources. So that, keep in mind, guys, first and foremost, when there's no grid, there's no drinking water. I hope you guys know that. If you see what's going on with the blackouts, this information is very, very vital. It's also very vital for your survival. You might not see it yet, but I promise you, in the future, everything is going to make sense. All right. Different ways we can actually retrieve drinking water and so you could stay alive. Now, one of the most efficient way you could actually do it and the fastest is actually boil. Actually, you can get water from any source, the pond, out of anything, container, even if it's dirty, polluted. You got to boil it. First thing you got to do, you got to boil it. By boiling it, all the germs, all the bacteria will come out of it. And then when you boil that hot water, you're going to need a clean rag and a container, very clean rag. I can't really do a lot of the illustration because it's just going to take a lot. I try to figure out to do it that way, but I think I'm going to explain it so simple that a 5-year-old can get it. First, you're going to boil the water in a pot, and then you wait for the water to cool. Then you're going to take a clean rag and another container, and you're going to strain off the water into the container. So all the necessary additional stuff that's in the water the rag will trap it so you don't get in the water that's going into the container. Once it's in the container, you cool it and you can drink it. That is the fastest way you can actually get your hands in clean water. And keep in mind, you could actually do this with lake water. So if you see a lake, it's drinking water. I know you probably think, oh, how am I going to drink the lake water? First, you got to boil that water. Boil it very, very hot, steaming hot. So all the germs and all the bacteria will evaporate and come out of it. Then you strain it through the rag into another container, cool it, then you drink it. You won't die. I promise you. That is the fastest way to do it. Now, what if you don't have any lake? You know those grass, large grass that you see in the wild? Chop chop the grass, the leaf of the grass. Wash it. Well, you're not gonna have water to wash it. Chances are it's clean. Try to get it early in the morning after the mildew is on top of it. Chop it. You're gonna need a Ziploc bag. So you're gonna put the grass leaves, a lot of it, into a Ziploc bag, z- zip tied it, and put it out in the sun. Yes, and in a couple of hours, you go out into the where you put that Ziploc bag. There's gonna be water in it that come that basically come out of the grass. Couple drip of water can save your life. That's another way to get water. Okay. Now you can also get it from tree leaves. It's called transpiration. Now when the tree you try to get your hands on fruit tree. Pretty much you can do this with most trees. In fact, all but you try to get leaves that have trees with big leaves. The bigger the leaves, the more the water is going to come through it. All right. So it's simple. The water go through the root of the tree, go through the tree, the branches, and then go into the leaves. Now, the leaves have pores and these water evaporate through the pores. So this is basically how the trees survive. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to punch holes into the leaves. Yeah. With a pen. Just punch little holes in the leaves, all over the leaves. You're going to take another Ziploc bag and put it over the leaves, bunch of leaves basically. Put all those leaves into the Ziploc bag and tie it. And what you're also going to do, the limb, make sure you use a branch that's close to the ground so you can actually make sure the branch is leaning downwards. So when the water come out the leaf, it's going straight into the bag and it's not falling out the bag. So you got to make sure the leaves are hanging downwards towards the ground. So when the water come through the leaves, due to the process of transpiration, the water, you'll start seeing water in like 3 hours. Good enough water to quench your thirst and keep you alive. Guys, I know you're probably thinking, why am I doing this video? Water is one of the most essential things for human being. I'm teaching you the different ways to get your hands on water so you survive. I promise you, one day all this knowledge is going to make sense. You can get water from tree leaves due to transpiration. You can do a bunch of it. Find the tree and do a bunch of uh, um, leaves all over the tree. Put Ziploc bag on them. lean them downwards towards the ground, and you're going to have a whole bunch of water to drink. And it's clean, clear water that you can drink. Now, you could also make an aqueduct. Now, I won't get too much into making the aqueduct because it takes a lot of material. You got to also have a water source to get the water from to send it somewhere else. So it's more complicated. I would say if you want to go that route, you probably want to get on Google, do more research, and you can also create an aqueduct for the atmosphere, where you can actually trap the water particles in the atmosphere and get drinking water. Those two process, I suggest if you want to learn how to do it, you do dig more into the research of it, the material you're going to need on Google, and then you can go from there. So I don't want to get too much into the aqueducts thing because of the material you're going to need. For a process like that, I would have to literally make it myself so you can actually see it. It's going to be a lot easier. Explaining it for you to get it is going to be, I think, more difficult for you to understand. So I don't want to get too much into that. But you can also make aqueducts from water source, and also get water from the atmosphere. As I said again, you want to dig further into this, get on Google, do more research to know the material you're going to need. Last but not least, you can get water from stone. And I did put it on my Facebook, and a lot of people are like, really? How is this possible? It's actually not that hard. Try to find stone that's actually out, get exposed to the to nature, like rainfall and stuff like that. Big enough stone, okay? And you're also gonna you all you need is a fire. Create a big enough fire, and you're gonna put the stone in that fire, and you're gonna literally heat the stone. Heat it. You don't have to do it with one stone. You could do it with two. You heat it get it so hot. You're also gonna need a clean rag. You tie a bunch of it. Let's just say you're using 3-4 stones. You're gonna need 3-4 rags, the amount of stone you need. So once the stone is hot, get the stone out, put the rag over the stone, tie it up nicely, cover the entire stone with the rag, tie it up nicely, and put it aside. And you wait for this stone to cool, because that stone trap water particles inside of it. The water particles will get into the rag, and you can actually, this is the last worst case scenario if you can't get water. You could squeeze the water in your mouth. 1 liter of water can save your life. Yes, you can get water from stone. And this is how you do it. By heating the stone extremely hot, wrap rag around it, clean rags, let it cool. All the water vapor and the moisture will go into the rag, take off the rag, and squeeze the water in your mouth. Make sure it's a clean rag. Worst case scenario, you could actually, once any stone I see out in nature, I see water. Any tree I see out in nature, I see water. Any grass I see out in water, out in nature, I see water. I see a lake, I see drinking water. Once you have this knowledge, you will never go without water. Listen to me carefully, guys. Once the electric grid go down, there's no drinking water coming to your homes. You need electricity to have drinking water. Process that a little bit. And at this point, the way blackouts are going, you see why I'm doing this information? One day, this information could be very beneficial to you and your family. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for always watching my video.